draining within the coffin. He informs Larry that the tablet is what causes everything to come alive at night, and he points to the tablet. He tells Larry that it is his responsibility to see that nothing leaves the museum because if the sun rises while they are outdoors, they will become dust. Teddy helps Larry get everyone, and we see Teddy looking at Sacagawea through his binoculars. Teddy just replies that he is tracking when Larry asks why. Larry is unsure if he will return. Teddy explains to him that although some people achieve greatness naturally, others have it forced upon them. Teddy goes back to his position in the museum, and Larry starts to walk away. Jedediah comes out of Larry's pocket and points the gun at his eye. He fires, but nothing comes out. As the sun is rising, Larry brings him back to the diorama room and takes him out of his pocket. After that, everything is as it was before. Cecil and the other security guards go into the museum and Larry jumps out and surprises them. He informs them that at night, the museum comes to life. Cecil explains that he would never have believed them if they had told him. Larry leaves the museum after giving up. Nick meets Larry on the museum stairs on his way to school. Nick expresses to him his respect for Larry's work at the museum. Larry says he'll give Nick a tour at a time. Now Larry must go back inside and get his job back. A Roman figure appears in the stockades in the Western culture diorama. Dr. McPhee cautions him not to do anything similar in the future, believing Larry was responsible. In light of Dexter tearing up his, Larry runs back to Cecil and asks him whether he has a backup. Instruction manual. Although Cecil doesn't have a copy, he advises Larry that it would be beneficial to read books on history. Larry decides to go along with them after observing Rebecca give a tour to some young people. Rebecca's claim that the monkey is known for its generous and loving nature makes him laugh. Since Sacagawea was unable to hear him the previous night, he pulls her away and inquires as to whether she is deaf. He keeps interrupting, which annoys Rebecca, who wonders why he is doing it. In response to Larry's claim that he just had a few questions, he convinces Rebecca to agree to a later coffee meeting with him so they can discuss history. Rebecca says she is doing a dissertation about Sacagawea and admires the woman so much. Larry is seen reading books and browsing the internet for information on things at the museum in the library. He discovers that Attila the Hun liked sorcery, and would tear the limbs of his enemies off. As Larry is getting ready for his shift at the museum, Cecil and the other security personnel enter to wish him luck and say goodbye. For the last time, they are leaving the museum. When Reginald is asked to follow them out by Cecil, he stays behind. Cecil claims that Reginald's intense feelings is the reason. Reginald waits and creates a clay replica of Larry's key. Larry goes to start his shift. To keep the T-Rex occupied while chasing it, Larry starts by pulling out one of its rib bones and fastening it to a remote-controlled automobile that he approaches the cavemen, who are still attempting to create fire, and throws them a lighter. He goes over to the Easter Island head and gives him the gum he asked yesterday. He enters the room with the dioramas. As he closes the glass to their diorama, he puts on a MIT to protect himself from the arrows the Mayans will throw. When he notices them breaking down their wall to expand, he makes a move to close the glass to the Roman culture diorama. He moves over to the Western culture diorama to see that Jedediah is giving the order to blow the mountain with dynamite. Larry advises against doing so since all he would hit is a wall. Even when Jed orders them to explode it, all that happens is a little puff of smoke.